Welcome to Modern Goddess. Here we discuss everything mastering your mindset, wellness wisdom, upgrading your relationships so that you can unleash your divine goddess essence and live your authentic best self every single day. I'm your host, Cassie Aurora. Let me come closer. Y'all know I don't have a podcast mic. Okay, so it's been a crazy week for me, guys. So please, receive my apologies for not getting in touch. I'm running a corporate wellbeing trial with some people I used to work with. It's going really well, but it just means lots of travel. And when I travel, it takes me a couple of days. Obviously, I'm working in those couple of days as well to get my energy back together. Not that I feel tired. It's just the kind of work I do. I work really well from my home base, and obviously, I do healing work, and so it's about the kind of work I do is. My room has lots of my protective symbols, my crystals, my amulets, my oils, just the things that help me really feel ready to bring something useful to the world. So we're in the throes of the Modern Goddess online e-course. That's going really well. Some lovely ladies. We're actually working through it a little bit slower than perhaps I had anticipated, and actually that's really cool because that's what the feminine energy essentially is about. It's not direct and forward moving, it's quantum, and it doesn't matter about time. So I'm really enjoying that, and you can still join that course on my website. It's great. It's 4 weeks of loads of content about really coming into your feminine essence and power, and I'm going to be constantly editing and changing and adding to that course because as I evolve and go through my own growth, which is every single day, there's things that maybe I change my perspective on, or I just feel maybe I have been too dogmatic on, or whatever, and we're all evolving and growing. So you can head onto my website and services, and you can actually buy that e-course. And it's got lots of lovely meditations in. I actually share trauma release exercise. I share a lot about menstrual cycles and the moon in there, and sexual de-armoring. Yeah, it's really cool. There's that. And then what else is new? So I'm doing a Reiki Level 1 training, which is what has inspired this podcast. So guys, on a serious note, this podcast is going to get deep. One moment. So basically, there's a postman waving at me through the window. 1 second. I'm just going to pause it. Okay. So let's roll. I'm doing a Reiki Level 1 course. This is only for people who can be with me in person. I know you can attune Reiki through distance, but I'm really of the camp that it needs to be in person, and you need to be in the space and connect with the energies. That's my personal opinion, and that's how I work best. And I'm doing it for only £85 early bird. It's for the whole day. You'll come out as a Reiki Level 1 practitioner. You cannot practice Reiki legally on other people with this. Reiki 1 is all about self-healing. And the reason that I wanted to share this is because I've got lots and lots of Reiki clients who I'm doing really great work with. However, something I'm noticing is that I want people to have these tools to go away and do this for themselves, because I don't want people to be reliant, and I'm not saying people are reliant on me, but I'm a big advocate that we can heal ourselves where we're at, and we all have the power within us to do that. And if I can give people some Reiki powers to start working on their energy body, then what a great gift. So yeah, I am a Reiki master. I wasn't taught the complete attunement process, so I've actually been given it through several sittings with my spiritual teachers in meditation. And I really have a strong message from Source, from my guardian angels, that it is time to share that. Only to Reiki 1 level. But yeah, and so it's really strong that I want to be able to share this with as many women as possible to heal themselves, and men, of course. But I feel like in my mind's eye it's going to be women in the room. And then you can use it for your pets, your family, your loved ones, with their permission, of course. But it's primarily about self-healing. And so self-healing is huge. People think, I'm going to segue into the podcast here and now, because I'm going to talk about curses. Yeah, it's going to go deep today. I'm going to talk astrological magic a little bit, some remedies, and because you'll know I'm obviously an astrologer, and that is my joy. But I want to also talk about the next generation of healers. And oh God, this controversial. So I'm thinking of some of my absolute favourite women in the world. There are many, but I'm thinking of particularly Christina Rice. I'm thinking of her. I don't know why, but I feel like she will totally get this podcast. I'm thinking of a lot of women recently who I have given astrological consultations to, and they are in an environment where their gifts are huge, but it goes against all the traditions of the family. I'm thinking of... who else am I thinking of? I'm definitely thinking of it. I can't speak about like a lot of people because it's like they're my friends. I'm surrounded by amazing women who have done their work. And this is the key, they've done their work. But if you met me even 2 years ago, and I've been practicing Reiki 6 years and been going to therapy 2 years, you still would have thought, yeah, she's lovely, but like you wouldn't have been called to like actually, well, you might have been based on vibration. It's not like I was walking and like having a real strong energetic aura. And I'm not saying with some big ego, I'm Billy Big Balls, because I'm not. I'm just a normal girl. However, I will never, ever, ever stop doing the acts of self-love and self-healing, which mean that I vibrate higher and higher and higher in order to heal people that come within my energy. And it doesn't mean I'm going to force it on them, it's just being around me, because your energy influences people 60 feet away. And that's not even on a quantum level. In order to heal my ancestral timeline, in order to be the best human I can right now in this consciousness, because I want to ultimately help people experience more love, joy, and acceptance. End of. But I know, and this is the trick, I don't sit here each morning and think, God, how can I like help my clients more? I do think that, but not in this, like, I don't think, oh gosh, what can I do to serve my community? How can I help the planet? Look at all these things I cannot change. This is not my dialogue, because actually law of attraction means you just get more helplessness. You actually might even experience like more problems, more hardship, more adversity, more feelings of powerlessness. I know that my power lies within being self-concerned, because I, like everyone else, am a vessel of kind of consciousness and human experience, all entangled in this magnificent web. And the more that I heal and focus on my own feeling better and in alignment with my true authenticity, the better people say I look, the better they say I am, the more I affect people by doing less, and I'll never stop doing that work. I'm not saying I am the guru of, the West Midlands or whatever, but what I'm saying is I know my power lies within. And, I didn't know that I knew that probably like a year ago or something. But anyway, even, how do I say this? Okay, when you've gone through a transformation, there are two camps of people. There are the camp of people that are totally seeing you and do not understand what you're doing. They think you look great. They're like, what is it you're doing? You look so well, and they congratulate you, and like the relationships rekindle and you just feel so much more joy. Even if it's acquaintances, there's just a real beautiful connection. And then there are the people, and the reason I'm talking about this and giving it energy is because I want to empower other women on their healing journey not to dim down their magnificence for anyone. We play small because we are too scared to put our foot out into the world and say, hey, I'm magnificent. And I'm really good at these things. So there's the camp of people, and I know this because I was scared to step into my magnificence for a very long time. And the minute I did, those little fears that were still inside, they were reflected back to me for a good year. And it was hilarious. Now it just propels me further because each troll or naysayer or bad energy or evil eye curse I feel, I know it means I'm on the path to healing and greatness and helping as many people as possible. And this is my true wish to create. This is my legacy. And so there are the people, they look at you and they refuse to see the transformation. They refuse. And if they do, they don't want to see it because it shows up their own incongruence within. It shows up their own shortcomings where they are not prepared to do the work. And it shows up their lack mentality, that there are not enough healers, there's not enough clients for everyone, or there's not enough source energy and clairvoyant energy for everyone. And guys, if you've experienced this where people refuse to see your transformation and then maybe try and even drag you down or undermine you, all in the name of tradition and respect, then I'm telling you, these people are your little nudges. They are saying to you, how much do you actually believe in yourself? And they're saying to you, have you actually changed? Are you actually in your authenticity? And these people are little tests. And it's really interesting because there's a new generation of healers being born They're like quicker and quicker because things are changing so much astrologically. I won't get into it too much, but the growth is insane. And millennials in particular, I feel, and this is my opinion and an observation, I'm counting myself in millennials, a bit ambitious. I am nearly 30 in like 2 years. But there is an accelerated growth where we are being called, are you going to wake up or are you not? And it's like literally kind of that binary. And the accelerated awakening process is happening in my generation. Then, I've got to be so careful what I say here. There's another, I don't know if it's generational. In fact, I don't think it's fair to say it's generational, but this is how I'm feeling it from my perspective. I respect tradition, and I definitely respect and advocate for You cannot hold space in a healing capacity for other people if you are not authentic and versed in that experience. You can hold space. That's not what I'm saying. But I think you can't claim to be an expert, or you can't claim you can do something always if you don't really understand the methodology, or there's not a certain humility or reverence for that thing. You know, it's like me saying, it's like me trying to get a job as, I don't know, it's like me opening a bloody vegan baking business. I bake vegan stuff, but I'm not a vegan baker. Do you know, it's like, you know, I'm not good with analogies today, clearly. But anyway, and I'm probably speaking out of term, I'll probably trigger a few people, but, you know, I've got some Mercury square Jupiter energy going on. So, yeah, there's this generational gap of healers, and I know it's just in healers, really, and it comes back down to this spiritual ego. My guru is better than yours, my yoga is better than yours, my Reiki is better than yours, I've done it longer, so it means that I'm better. Does it mean that? Or does it mean you're better based on your humility and your ability to see the gift in other healers as another unique expression of source? Or are you trying to find fault in others because you feel like they shouldn't be doing that thing that you don't want them to do based on something within you? Just putting it out there. And it's like we all do it. Oh God, I wake up and I look at other musicians, because for me, like, music was my dream and I never really fulfilled it because of my own fear and lack. And I am stepping forward with it now, but like 100%, I like get envy for other musicians. They might not even, you know, objectively be even better than me. But I'm like trying to find fault in them, like, oh, well, you know, they're not that good. Like, I see that come up in me and I'm like, oh, damn, girl, like, what's that about? And of course, it's my own desire. It's my own lack. And it's like when we don't trust in source and we don't do our self-work, or we don't want to look within, and we're not going to go with flow, we're not going to do, I mean, I say healing work, I don't mean it work like slavery. I mean the path to healing and the path to self-realization and self-love and all of those things. Like, when we don't commit to that, of course, we're going to feel the envy and the jealousy and the rage. I'm no different. I feel jealousy. I'm not some superhuman woman. Sometimes I feel lack. But the minute I feel that energy rise up, I'm like, whoa, okay, where's this coming from? Yeah, and that's the thing. But some people don't do that. And when you're early on in your healing journey and you suddenly have the balls or the ovaries, depending on, you know, the sex of your body, when you suddenly have the courage to stand up and say, this is my magnificence, and I am not afraid to stand in it and shine, you'll get some pushback. If you start to speak a truth that people don't want to hear, watch people push back. Watch parts of the matrix play tricks on you. I call it the matrix. It's just our programming society. Watch all of it come up. And it's coming up because it's teaching you, hey, are you really sure? Are you authentic? It's also just showing you those self-doubts. And I've got it within very close proximity to me. I could give you about 7 people that really don't want to see who I have become. And I don't think they even admit that to themselves. And then I've had people that have seen who I've become and have to detach because we're no longer a vibrational match. And so for me, this whole Mercury Scorpio retrograde has been about this, letting go of those incongruent aspects of ourselves that are literally lowering our vibration to the point where we're attracting experiences which cause us pain because they're no longer needed. And sometimes we actually have to have the courage, that's the big word, the courage to step away from what we know, Taurus, Scorpio archetypes, into the unknown. Scorpio is a lot of unknown, but really actually stepping into that is pretty scary. But the minute you make that choice, watch everything shift. Healing is quantum. If you make that step today, everything is going to change. So, I don't know. I'm just rambling, of course. This is what I bloody do on this podcast. You guys know that. And if you've got this far, clearly you're as insane as I am. Big respect. If you got this far, give me a shout out. I don't even have minutes on here. It's probably for the best. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about, curses. The evil eye. I've had clients who've had the evil eye cast on them, and I kind of thought it was like, it is folk, but I thought it was something people had to intentionally do. And now I am realising some people just have such power with their envy and hurt and pain that they unknowingly cast the evil eye. Right now I'm going through an experience where I know, okay, so if you feel like you've had black magic or the evil eye cast on you, then you have. Because it's not just something you just pick out the air. I'm going to say that vibrationally, if you are not a match to it, it won't get you. I've done a lot of self-work, but my moon is heavily afflicted in my astrology. I can let my guard down one day, and I could be a target for this kind of stuff. And in this instance, this week, as my own fears kicked in about a certain situation I'm going through, a new endeavour that's happening for me, that was the weakening, because I then became a vibrational match to the energy that's been thrown at it. Okay, and curses and bad energy exist. And I don't want to say like bad energy, like whoa. I'm just talking in good and bad, in like binary. Essentially, nothing's good or bad. In my book, it kind of is all experience. But I've been given lots of blockages because I put it out there and I became a vibrational match to that person's intentions through their own pain and hurt. I have a strong feeling I know exactly who this person is. I have met them. I met them at like a spiritual event a few years ago. And I remember knowing at that point that our energies were not aligned. Obviously they are, because we came into alignment, so that's a complete load of rubbish. But there was something in there that I didn't feel safe around. And maybe, that was teaching me at the time, put up some protection. And ironically, this person is around. Anyway, it's complicated. So anyway, then this person has come back into my field. And I am 99% sure that some sort of bad energy has been thrown at this situation. So anyway, and I've had clients who have experienced the evil eye, and it comes like this. It doesn't, for some people, so the evil eye and black magic are slightly different. Black magic usually is very intentional, and it can literally cause people really great misfortune. I have known of someone that's had black magic. He has black magic right now, and I'm actually constantly putting him in my prayers and doing some curse lifting work with him. This was, I saw the sorceress do it in I don't know what timeline. It was definitely a different timeline. I know what she was using. I was privy to it all, and he's in a lot of pain. His spine is degenerating. he wakes up and has like fire in his house. So I'm kind of working on a lot of astrological remedies at the moment as well for him, but also I'm going to go around and do quite a big healing kind of curse lifting session. But I'm actually right now trying to build myself up in able to do it, because they're really real, and that's a case of actual black magic. And I won't get into it, but that's like an example. The evil eye is a bit different. So the evil eye is literally where someone can be quite jealous. It can be a jealousy and envy, or just you've hurt them and they wish bad on you. And it's sometimes it's not intentional, and often it's not, but a lot of time it's like people really buying into that vibration. They're feeding it. And what happens is, like me and, well, this situation I'm in, there's a real high vibration on it. So it only manifests in a particular way, which is quite interesting, and it feels like a limitation rather than anything bad. But it is a limitation, and it's an obvious limitation, and it comes at a certain point in certain scenarios. And so that's quite an evil eye. Another example, I had a client who, she had a family member who was very jealous because she came from a cultural background where they didn't go to school, and she ended up actually educating herself enough to be an accountant. And it was incredible because she literally was self-made, like really wealthy, like a lot of properties. But her family, there was a particular family member who was so jealous and would wish bad on her, and she would have dreams about this, and I said, you've got the evil eye cast on you. And she would have it lifted, but she would have to go back again and again because this family member was like a relentless. And so anyway, it would manifest in ways that were just like these stories about her trying to sell her house, move properties. You couldn't write it. It was just like, I remember one day just thinking, oh my God, like she's cursed. I felt so awful, but she was. And so this is how it manifests. But it wasn't like danger to her life. And that's the difference. So how do you know you've got the evil eye or black magic? You 100% know. However, on some level of your being, you're a vibrational match to that, and you need to call in protection. Now, there's a few ways. Personally, you can book astrology, and you can see where you need to be protected, and you can use astrological remedies. So an astrological technique I always do, it's occult astrological magic, and it's a very simple technique. You have to be very careful with it because we're not trying to alter fate and the future. We're bringing in protection through bringing in a specific chart that you can carry around with you. And that's done with an astrologer. It's really potent and powerful. That's one way. Another way is through an energy healing session with you can choose me or just someone you resonate with. You can even go to sort of like, someone who is like, just pick someone you resonate with, but pick someone who's really used to working with things. If it's black magic, then I'm afraid you will need to find someone very specialist in that. Okay, I'm just talking about negative energies and just generally clearing them. Use black tourmaline. That's a really, really good one. Just bear with me. And cords. Black tourmaline. Shungite. Shungite is super, super protective. Or anything you feel called to. And that's the important thing, what you feel called to. These, you can make sure you program the crystals. You need to tell crystals, they have a consciousness. You need to tell them what to do. And it's really important. You can literally put an energy bubble around yourself. That's a really good way. So drawing an energy bubble around yourself in the shape of a diamond, that's really powerful. If you practice Reiki, remember you can use your master symbol to cut cords and bring in protection. I mean, you can use Reiki for lots, but that's a really good way. Or see a Reiki healer. something else you can do is, the thought's gone. It's totally Mercury retrograde. I swear to God, I've got some weird ADHD. Okay, something else that you can do, because I was saving the best till last. Oh, amulets and protective symbols. I would recommend The Royal Art of Astrology by, her name is Crassie. She does amulets. They're about $300, and she makes them at a specific time when the protective star Algol is in a certain place in the sky. I really want one of these. Like, the dream would be to have one of these, but she is incredible. I would recommend her if you have the abundance there. But you can also use things like protective symbols. Choose, like, you can use the hamster or the evil eye protective symbol, and use them. You could even, like, get bracelets or key rings. Using these talismans is a really powerful way. So I'm just going to put that out there, that these things exist. But the essential thing is remembering that you're vibrational match to these things, and that's why they're coming in. So I just want to put that out there, that they're coming in for a reason. And honestly, like, there's lots you can do, but ultimately, if there's any part of you vibrationally which, any fragment within that is susceptible to that energy, go into that and protect that part of you. I talk a lot about fragmentation in my Modern Goddess course, and that, is, you could just think of it like your inner child. And I'm trying to keep this really brief, like, just for broad speaking. But if you want to get more into this, of course, you can speak with me about it. Yeah, so curses and the evil eye. Guys, they exist. And yes, new generation of healers. I've spoken of that. I just want to finish by talking a little bit about astrology, because y'all know I'm an astrologer, but astrology is a really powerful tool. And if you're experiencing difficult circumstances in your life over and over and over again, astrology is a way that we can work together to start to unpick why that is and what is the learning experience. We can also bring blessings to your chart. We can try remedies. I can give you meditations and prayers to do, guardian angels to work with. These are things that they sound all out there and woo-woo, but that's basically who I am anyway. Nothing that I practice is for any bad reason. It's always for the benefit and healing of my clients. I literally want everyone to experience joy and happiness. That's it. But I understand that the nature of many astrological charts, including my own, is tamasic, where the planets are the essence of God, which destroys and destruction and teaches us things. But without these tamasic planets, we cannot experience the Rajasic, which are the kingly, beautiful planets. And those are kind of, well, planets is not really the right word, but for the sake of keeping it simple, those beautiful planets and those beautiful experiences and the pure godlike experiences, we can't really experience those without experiencing the destructive nature of God, God being source universe. And so in hard times, there are deep, deep, deep blessings, and no one's astrology is doomed. Like, an astrologer should never tell you that. The same as I've had tarot readers tell me just absolute rubbish that wasn't even true. It didn't even come true, and all it did was scare me. Like, if you're working with healers or you follow people that are sort of low vibrational, like, there's a difference between truth and scaremongering, and there's a difference between being very honest about someone's blockages towards a situation and literally scaring people. There's loads we can do. God gives us free will. He gives us free will. God doesn't care what you do with it. He doesn't care. Like, universe doesn't care. You can do what you like with it. All that the universe hears is the vibrational language, So if you're having a vibrational inner language of anxiety, fear, and worry about the future, guess what will happen? More of that, It's just the law of quantum entanglement, law of attraction. But you have to hear the parts of you that are in fear, because if you ignore them, they actually become stronger and will give that vibration off even more. So it's about understanding and integrating those parts of you and understanding those kind of fearful, worried, painful parts of you. And this is what we cover a lot in my Modern Goddess course, and actually integrating them into your existence as parts of you that have needs and wants and actually need healing. And that actually kind of, instead of spiritually bypassing all of those fears and then actually attracting more rubbish in your life, you actually are vibrating on a frequency that is definitely more humble, it's more authentic, and you start to slowly experience a life that gets better and better and better. And essentially, I guess what I'm saying is that you have free will, and in astrology or tarot, I am making sure that I am helping you to feel super optimistic about the future, given the circumstances that you're in now, because we have so much power to do things. And so, guys, like, if you haven't booked astrology with me and you're thinking about it, I have like lower price readings on my website that are like pre-recorded. Like the past life and karmic one is quite cool. So like, just if you're thinking, yeah, really, I'm scared or something, you'll love it. Trust me, I never give a nasty reading. It's just not my style. But I'm always honest, and I will be really truthful, but with the most loving way that I can, because I want you to feel happy and experience joy. That's what life's about, guys. We have enough hardship. We don't need more. So, yeah, I just want to wish you a really nice weekend and send you lots of love. If you are listening to this, I am so, so grateful, and really, please share it if you can. Subscribe, leave a rating or review. Unless it's nasty, then maybe I don't want it. No, I'm joking. Please just let me know what you want more of, because otherwise I'll just randomly spiel about stuff. So please have a wonderful week. I am having some awesome guests on here soon for you, and I cannot wait to share them. So yes, enjoy. And if you want to book any services with me, CassieAurora.com, click on services and have a little peruse there, and we'll link up and connect, and it will be my pleasure. So do take care, and see you soon.